I'll take a Voorhees burger and a side of Jason fingers. Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate stopping on by. Once again, coming at you to showcase something Jason Goes to Hell, having just showcased the retro video store promotional two-sided mobile or whatever the hell it is, promotional item, kind of little mini standee for Jason Goes to Hell. Actually, the topic of this item came up while I was doing that, and then after I recorded that, I'm like, why don't I go grab this and do a video on this? I wasn't planning on it, but it kind of came up in the last video I did. So I'm coming at you to showcase the original North American CD compact disc release of Jason Goes to Hell. What are they calling this? Original motion picture soundtrack on compact disc from 1993. On the back here on the bottom we've got Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday, P, 1993, New Line Productions Incorporated, all rights reserved, and then another line. I'm surprised it doesn't say Pooh, but it's a copyright. Incidentally, I don't even know what the P stands for. I know the C is copyright, but what's the P? If you got to go to the bathroom. We've got EDEL, Edel, I don't know how you pronounce it, Edel America Records Incorporated. You've got their address there, as you can see. Catalog number EDS 5405-2. Got a New Line Cinema logo down there. Taking a closer look at the front cover, original motion picture soundtrack, Jason Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. And your standard North American poster art, which I never really liked at all. That ugly worm is just nasty as all shit, and what's worse, well, maybe it's a good thing, it's not even in the movie, so it's kind of misleading. Like, why have this ugly thing on the poster if it's not even in the movie? If it's in the movie, I can understand having it on the poster, but I can't understand having it on the poster if it's not in the movie. On the bottom here, we've got music by Harry Manfredini. This is the very first time I've done a compact disc spine, but looking at the right spine of this compact disc, once again, catalog number EDS 5405-2, Jason, trademark Goes to Hell, The Final Friday. So if your name is Jason, your name is trademarked. Taking a look at the left spine, seems to be identical. Taking a look at the back here, kind of cool. Incidentally, this image is of the dummy prop they set up for the explosion scene. This is just moments before they would explode this dummy prop of Jason in the opening scene of Jason Goes to Hell. This is not Kane Hodder standing there, it's the dummy that they blew up at the beginning of the film. It's kind of a cool image. Incidentally, if you hadn't seen the movie yet, it's hard to tell what's going on here. It looks like Jason is actually in hell, and it might have got people really excited for this film. Wow, there's scenes in hell with Jason, but alas, that does not happen in this movie. As you can see here, you can pause and read these if you want. I'm not going to read them all out. We've got 17 tracks, and all the the minutes and seconds that go along with all those tracks. You can pause and read all this stuff if you want to. Basically, the album credits are featured on the back of the CD case. Taking a look at the back of the front cover art, we've got Jason is back, and he's finally headed where he belongs. You can pause and read this if you want to. A little bit of spiel about the film, I would imagine, and Harry Manfredini as well. As we can see, we've got Kane Hodder as Jason for the very third time in his career. Honestly, I do, except for maybe the big head look, I do really like the Jason look in Jason Goes to Hell. I thought the hockey mask, kind of being buried into his face at this point in the franchise was kind of appropriate. It's been on his head for such a long time. And what I did appreciate about the hockey mask is it's very, authentic to kind of like if this was a follow-up to the 7th film. It's very, very similar to the Part 7 mask, and so I definitely appreciate that. It's almost like when they made Jason Goes to Hell, they just skipped the fact that Jason Takes Manhattan even happened, and the hockey mask looks very similar to how it did in the 7th film. Obviously here we've got a photo of one of the men who was responsible of ruining my most beloved film franchise of all time, at the time 23-year-old Adam Marcus. I guess we can blame him, or give him some of the blame for ruining this beloved franchise. Thanks a lot, buddy. Pulling out the cover work and opening it up, it's kind of like a little piece of cardboard paper, whatever, folded in half to have the front and back part of the front cover. We unfold it, or open it up rather, to show basically 4 still images from the film. That one guy's body just rotting to shit after Jason's essence leaves him and goes into the frickin', what does he go into? This is the sheriff guy, I think, deteriorating after he goes into the news anchor's body, I want to say. Nasty ass image. Jason Goes to Hell. I do like that red on black for the title and the font. Once again, I think there's the TM after Jason. It's so funny how the name Jason is trademarked. Of course, we've got the famous shot of him being drugged down into hell, kind of a cool profile shot of Jason in the hockey mask. And then on the far right, we've got an image of that main character woman plunging the Jason killing dagger into his whatever, chest, heart, whatever. And there you go. We've also got the film's credits there underneath these 4 images, and it's actually a pretty decent layout here. I always think, obviously, that red and black go very good together. One of the few things that me and the Catholic Church agree on, but definitely agree that red and black always goes well together. And there's the basically fold out inside of the front and back of the CD cover. Taking a look at the compact disc itself, I think this is the only place on the whole release, where it's actually got a logo for the Edelskrin Records, or Edel America Records, whatever they're calling it here. The logo is Edelskrin, but they're saying Edel America Records, whatever. But I think this is the only logo on this whole release. They actually have a little Edel logo for their record company here. Just basically very simple, plain Jason Goes to Hell, just printed on this CD, compact disc, digital audio. You can pause and read this stuff if you want to. Once again, the 17 tracks are listed here. We've got the year, 1993, New Line Productions, the catalog number, and all that lovely-dovely stuff. Lovely-dovely? Okay. So I thought this might be interesting for you guys to see the original North American compact disc release of the Jason Goes to Hell original motion picture soundtrack. It'd be interesting to know. I never look at these things before I start the videos, but it'd be interesting to know if this thing's worth any money. I would imagine different versions of this have since come out. I know that Harry Manfredini was selling, I think, CDRs of his soundtracks on his website, which I guess there was like an apology thing on his website as of late. Maybe it's still on there, where people didn't know they were getting CDRs, and maybe there was a little bit of understandable, upsetness regarding that. So I know the last time I looked at his website, incidentally, which I believe is harrymanfredini.com, as one would imagine, I think there used to be, there might still be a little thing, apology thing, him stating that, it wasn't my intention to mislead people, but I am selling CDRs of my scores and stuff, which is, I guess, let's face it, kind of tacky, but kind of cool to, like, I don't know if he's making them himself. If he was making them himself, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it makes you wonder if he's got to sell CDRs of his soundtracks. If this is actually, I would imagine, kind of rare and possibly worth money. Who would ever thought, if that is the case, that this could ever be worth anything? But at the time, just like I talked about in my little mobile, or whatever the hell you want to call it, two-sided mini standee review or showcasing, at the time I was just, it'd been so many years since '89 since Jason had been on the big screen, so at the time I kind of gave it Jason Goes to Hell, I gave it the benefit of the doubt and was kind of trying to enjoy it as best I can. And it was just cool to see Kane Hodder back as Jason again, and a little bit of screen time in the film that he is Jason, and Harry Manfredini back for an entirely new and fresh score. Once I guess I should mention in closing, while I'm doing this review, that I obviously I don't like the electronically realized aspect of the score for this film. Harry Manfredini, ironically, when he started out with the first several films, all the films that he did of the franchise, the first 6 films, all were actual instruments, and real instruments and real recording of instruments, and such a beautiful sound. Some of my favorite film scores of all time are Harry Manfredini's contribution to the first 6 Friday the 13th films. And it's just like, it just seems so backwards to me that when he's younger, starting out, and doesn't have a lot to work with. He does the best stuff, and then later on, 13 years later, when he's doing another Jason score, I mean, 13 years later, he's done, you know, major motion pictures and all kinds of scores for major motion pictures. He's got so much of a catalog under his belt. Now he's just, you know, relegated to just doing stuff in his own little office on his keyboard, all electronically, or at least for this film. It's just so disappointing at the time. And, you know, I was only like 16 when this movie came out, and I was like, yeah, at least Harry's back, but I mean, it's all electronic stuff, and it doesn't hold a candle to the actual, you know, his first scores that he did for the first 6 films. But that's just my opinion. Maybe other people disagree. That's your right to do so. I guess that does it for my showcasing of this original North American, I was going to say VHS, compact disc release of Jason Goes to Hell, original motion picture soundtrack. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And as always, we'll catch you on the next video. Ma, you really want me to cut them like this? Ma. It's your own dumbass fault. They're supposed to look like hockey masks.